What's up, everyone? I'm Remy.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Casey. And this is day 11 of the Ones Discourse.
Heck yeah, guys. So, Remy, I know your girlfriend was back here a month ago. So I already know the answer to this question, but you guys been going on any dates lately? Casey, looking at you.
Can't say I have.
All right.
No, not really. I'll be going on 1 in 3 days, so I'm excited for that.
Heck yeah, my man. All right. Well, do I have the topic for you guys today, Casey? All right. This one specifically goes towards you, because for your date in the future, whenever time it may be, this is a valuable tool that you may be able to use to better your chances. All right. So for you listeners out there, today we're going to be talking about the 36 questions to make anyone fall in love. So this was a study by the psychologist Arthur Aaron, and it explores whether intimacy between two strangers can be accelerated by having them ask each other a very specific series of personal questions. The 36 questions in this study are broken up into 3 sets, with each set intended to be more probing than the previous one. And then at the end of the study, it was you're supposed to look at each other for 4 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, we probably won't be doing that, but
Yeah. All right.
So just to preface this, we will only be doing the first 12 in this podcast, and then if we get a good rolling on this one, we might do the second set and another one, and then the third set and a third one.
Yeah. Yep.
if Remy hasn't fallen in love with me by then yet, so.
Excuse you, it's Casey's going to fall in love with me. So just to let you guys know, Lucas will be asking the questions, Casey and I will be answering the questions, and so it's the thing if Casey and I can fall in love.
It's actually a really cool thing before, the whole 36 questions to make anyone fall in love. The questions are really cool questions to ask, that ones that typically you wouldn't ask on a date, which I think is really cool. And it lets you kind of see the better parts of a person without necessarily seeing... and it also allows you to see some of their downfalls, but in a more reflective light rather than a more experimental, I'm getting to see them, I'm getting to see them fail. It's more like they're explaining their downfalls, which I think is respectable type of thing. I know, Remy, you've done it before, right?
Yeah, so back when I was first talking to my girlfriend, we had never actually met in person, and we were FaceTiming one day, and I told her about the study, and I asked her, do you want to do it? And she said, sure. And so we did it then before, everything. And then we've been dating now for a year and a half. And then we did it again this last summer to see how much our answers have changed because, as people, we've grown, as a couple, we've grown. So it's kind of a fun thing to do and see how my answers have changed.
When you first took it, do you think it actually cultivated a sense of intimacy?
I think so. It really let me get to know who she was and what she thought of as a person, which all the stuff would have taken me a whole lot longer to know. And the questions kind of stop, you getting to know those things over time and get to know things then. But I think it really accelerated who we got to know each other.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I haven't done the full test, flat out with anyone before. I've looked at the test several times, and I've known about it for a while, and I've always wanted to do it with someone. However, I've always been kind of nervous to ask someone to do it with me type of thing. But I've done I've picked select questions that I like talking about on dates, and I'll kind of keep those in the back of my mind in case there are ever any null silences in dates. And they usually provoke pretty decent conversation with it, which I think is pretty cool. And they kind of get you past an initial hump of awkwardness of things to talk about, because they kind of do make you talk about deeper stuff. So it's nice. But all right, you guys ready to kick things off?
Yeah, dude. I got butterflies, man. I'm nervous. It's my first date.
Alrighty. All right. Set 1, question 1. All right. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Casey.
Oh my God. Remy, if you know it, you can go ahead and say it. Say what yours is, because I need a sec.
I'd pick Elon Musk because I think he's just a really cool person.
Let's go.
And he's done everything that I want to do. He has started a space company. He has a really cool electric car company. He's rich, and he's got a lot of stuff going for him. So I think it'd be cool to have him sit down, have him talk to me, his ideas on fame, his ideas on the future of humanity, stuff like that.
I think I'm really into, I guess, creative stuff. More, that was kind of an overstatement, but I would have to choose David Dobrik. Remy rolls his eyes. Okay. The thing is, okay, I know it seems like so cheesy, like, oh, it's a YouTuber. It doesn't matter. But it's not so much his content, but who he is. And I just want to see, like, I want to ask him questions like, why do you do it? What's his main inspiration? And what keeps him going? Because YouTube is like a really hard thing to do, and if you try it, you're most likely not going to be successful, but he's really successful with it, and that's something that I wish I could be successful with, but I'll most likely never try because I'm too afraid of failure, and I'm probably not funny enough. So it's just
it's getting deep really quick. Okay, this is the first set. Wow.
It's just one of those things that I think his perspective would be really interesting. So
yeah, that's a good point. You know, just finding out like why and how, and seeing who he is as a person instead of seeing who he is as a content creator would be a cool difference.
Yeah, I'm sure if I had more time to think about the question, I'd come up with someone else. But that was the first thing that popped into my head. So,
okay, second question: would you like to be famous, and in what way?
Yes, I would absolutely love to be famous. I would love to be known as the man who discovered how to go faster than the speed of light.
Wow, that's actually really specific. I wouldn't. And yeah, I probably sound like the dude that's trying to take the higher ground, be the better man or whatever, but I don't like attention very much.
Why would you want to be a YouTuber then?
It's because you don't have to really like be constantly in the public eye as a YouTuber. You can live a pretty private life, but that's beside the point. Ignoring that, I don't want people to always know what I'm doing or where I am. I don't want people to constantly be looking at me and criticizing me. And I know I could do a lot of things, positive things if I was famous, but I wouldn't want the public eye, and I'd rather just live a more private life.
Alrighty. Number 3, before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why?
I do not.
I definitely do. Even in the simple things, when I'm making an appointment, I'm like, okay, I'm calling the doctor. I need to get this done. I need to schedule an appointment. Okay, this. Okay, I'm gonna call now.
He's so antisocial. He has to plan out his social interactions.
Yeah, no, I know what I'm going to say usually, and I don't need to rehearse it, so there's no reason for me to.
It depends on the person I'm calling as well. If I'm calling like you guys, I'm not going to rehearse what I'm going to say to you, so.
Oh yeah, I bet.
He calls up. Yeah. Hey guys, I rehearsed this. Do you want to hang out? There we go. Got it.
Oh, wrong line. Sorry. Where are you guys?
He's just off his script that he's constantly got. He just wrote down lines for every situation that we could encounter as friends. Alrighty. What would constitute a perfect day for you?
Well, hopefully I wake up. That's a great day already. I wake up probably around 7 or 8 o'clock, fully rested. And then I go and do a hike early in the morning, followed by reading a book, hanging out with some friends, ending the day with a sit around the dinner table with some friends and family, playing games, or even ending up in front of a fireplace reading a book and having a tea or something. That's probably my perfect day.
My perfect day, probably I'd want to wake up somewhere pretty, somewhere cool. Like
I wake up at 5 a.m. I head out to the range.
No, I'd wanna be like up in the mountains. Wake up, go for like a mountain bike ride or something. Go for a swim in the lake. Maybe when it got later, whether I was with friends or whatever, just hang out, talk. I love late night, evening conversations in really cool places. So I definitely want something along those lines. But yeah, that would be ideal for me.
Alrighty. When did you last sing to yourself and to someone else?
Literally on the drive here.
Yeah, we were singing together.
I sing to myself almost every single day, and I sing to other people almost every single day too. So
we were singing together yesterday.
I mean, music's so much a part of my life, and I love singing, even though I have an awful voice. That it's just fun. So,
yeah.
Alrighty. If you're able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
A mind, almost 100%. Like, one of my biggest fears is losing the ability to remember things and getting like dementia or something like that, where I see it at my work all the time, where and I'm taking a guy from the ED up to the floor, and he has dementia or Alzheimer's, and he's like, where are we going? Can we turn back? Because I remember what we were doing back there, but I don't remember where we're going. Like, he's terrified, he's scared, and his wife is there, and she's always like, hey honey, it's okay, we're gonna get you feeling better soon. And he's like, I'm just scared. And for me, that's like my biggest fear, is not being able to remember something, or like just having my memory deteriorate just terrifies me. So I think having the mind of a 30-year-old would make me a lot happier.
I'd have to go with the body of a 30-year-old. We're not very compatible, Remy. But I'd have to go with the body, just because that's not as big as of a fear for me. I mean, it's not really in my family. I could get it, I don't know, but like Alzheimer's or something. But I'd rather be able to do all these fun things that I like doing now, whether it be mountain biking, playing disc golf, or spike ball, tennis, whatever. I'd rather be able to do those things for the rest of my life and enjoy those things than have to stop doing the things that I love doing just because I can't physically keep up.
That's fair. Alrighty. Question number 7. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
I believe it's probably going to be some sort of disease going to kill me. Some type of neurological disease. I'm going to grow old, and something's going to take hold of me. It's going to kill me.
Oh my God.
With Remy's recent concussions, bro, he's almost legally brain dead as it is.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't see myself dying from something abnormal, like a disease or anything. I guess at this point it's not really abnormal, but I don't tend to get sick very often. I don't have many problems, so I don't worry about that.
Casey over here with the perfect immune system.
The type of disease I'm talking about is like Alzheimer's or cancer or something like that. Yeah. So, yeah. Not the typical type of like virus or bacteria disease. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really worried.
You're going to get killed by a wild animal. I honestly, like, to my core, I think that's what's going to happen.
Oh my God. All right. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I just think, like, you're not going to go out some typical way. I think something's going to kill you, and then you're going to pass your belongings to it.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel the same way. I don't know about a wild animal, but I definitely feel like something strange is gonna take me out, like some stupid, like the bungee snapped on a bungee jump or something. I don't know.
Alrighty. Name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common.
All right, partner.
Getting spicy now. I like this.
Number 1, we love podcasting.
Boom.
Nope.
Day One's Discourse. Leave a 5-star review.
As a moderator, I'm shooting down that answer. Come up with another one.
Wait, do we need to individually come up with them?
Yes.
So 6 altogether?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I think we appear. So if we were strangers, what would we think we have in common? So let's do it from that standpoint. So as if we didn't know each other. Clothing style. I think we have a very similar clothing style.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think our attitudes are very similar, just when it comes to like our demeanor and stuff. I think it's pretty similar. Like, I'd see him and be like, oh yeah, like I could picture myself hanging out with him. I don't know him, but I could.
Do you guys want me to leave the room right now? This is getting
Things
a
are
little hot and
heating
heavy
up.
for you guys.
We're both males. I'm gonna throw that one out there. So that one's good.
That's another cop out. As the moderator, that one's getting denied.
Well, if we're doing it as complete strangers, it's not like I don't know him.
All right.
And if I'm gonna be honest, almost all of our questions have been really different from each other's.
Yeah.
So,
That's fair.
something else we have in common, we have a lot of the same nervous behaviors, where we both did the exact same thing with our facial hair. So that's so funny. I never noticed that before. So,
I think so. Is this literally like I've never seen him before?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
something along those lines. Like you're very much so strangers. You may have had one quick interaction, but yeah, for the most part, you're strangers.
Well, I don't know. I don't honestly can't think of something that we'd have similar, but I can think of something that like I would like about Remy.
Seemingly between you guys, what I've noticed is with your guys' answers, you guys seem to have similar interests. So that's one thing that you can mention.
See, that's what I was thinking, but I wouldn't know his interests if I just knew him. But I was gonna say we share a lot of the same tastes, like such as music. That's like a huge thing. But that's not really something you know the instant you met someone. That's hard though.
Alrighty. For what in your life do you feel most grateful?
I think I'm most grateful for where I am and where I have been. I had the very good opportunity to live in Idaho and meet really cool people and have the opportunity to travel a lot of places and stuff like that. And I think that's what I'm most grateful for is all the opportunities I've had in life and all the stuff I've been able to work towards.
I'm definitely most grateful for my parents, just because they
Thanks.
cool.
Correct answer was the boys. Okay.
Just because they're always there, and like they've given me a lot of opportunities to go and do things that I wouldn't be able to do in a lot of other situations. Like I got to go to San Diego for 2 years, even though I had to come back. I'm glad I got that experience, and they were the ones that let me have that. Plus, they moved me here, and if they didn't move me here, I wouldn't have met the boys. So it all comes back to the boys.
Everything rotates back to the boys. Alrighty, if you could change anything about the way you're raised, what would it be? As we're recording in Remy's house right now.
Something changed about the way I was raised. I think I would change just the attitude I had towards my siblings. We didn't get along a lot when we were younger, and the same thing with my cousins as well. I didn't have very good relationships with them, and having good relationships now with my siblings, I wish that I could have done that earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. I love my family. I'm really fortunate to have them. But growing up, I think looking at it in terms of now, I think a little more discipline, I guess, and like pushing to commit to things, as opposed to more freedom when I was younger. I know it sounds kind of ironic, but I feel like they let me do a lot of what I wanted to do, which is really awesome, and I love that about them. But sometimes like a lot of guidance in some areas, I feel like that could have helped me commit more to things, and that's an issue I have with a lot of stuff. So
All right, question 11 would have been take 4 minutes and tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible. Seeing that you guys already know each other's life story, we're going to skip that question. We're going to number 12, last of the set. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Motivation.
All right, jeez.
I can 100% agree with that. I genuinely think that's what I would do. If I could have the motivation to do things, it'd be over for you guys.
It'd be over.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm really burned out of school. I have a year left of college, and I'm like, I'm going to take a gap year probably just because it's hard. But if I was suddenly woke up tomorrow and I felt 100% motivated, ready to conquer it, and then I would get A's in every single one of my classes, I would do well on tests, I would be ready for grad school, I would just have so much going for me at that point. But I think right now my biggest issue is I don't have a lot of motivation.
I'm 100% on the same page. I want to be able to commit to things more and follow through with things, creative endeavors, whatever it may be. And yeah.
That's fair. Alrighty, well, that's the end of set 1 for this podcast. Hopefully set 2 will be in the near future. All right, now we'll move on to song recommendations for this week. Since our song recommendations were lost in the podcast that we lost, I'm going to recommend Lost in the Mail by Sam Johnson. It's a killer song, kind of folky. I really like it.
In recognition of what we were doing today, Wildfire by Seafret. If you go watch the music video, they did a music video that is based off of these 36 questions as well. So if you're interested in listening to a really good song and watching the music video about what we're talking about today, it's a great thing to go do.
Yeah. I'm going to recommend one that we recommended in the episodes we lost as well, which is In a River by Rostam. Just a great song. Definitely go listen to it. It's cool.
Alrighty. We will. Just for you guys. The title of the 36 questions. It was originally published, like we said, by a man named Arthur Aaron. The actual study, you can look it up online. It's called The Experimental Generation of Interpersonal Closeness, a Procedure, and Some Preliminary Findings. So if you guys are interested in learning more about the actual scientific understanding behind it, feel free to go look at more regarding our podcast. Make sure you go like and subscribe, and go check us out on our social media. You can follow us at the Ones Discourse on Instagram, and then try and reach us out on there. We'll be sure to hit you back up.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, have a good evening.